So if you might share just a little bit about why now? Why now is the voice within the series for us
Uh,
to lean into?
well, that is fascinating question because the now could be any moment. Yes. And so it isn't specifically into like this time and space and your tracking of that in your world. Yes. And yet it is really such an important time, such an important timing in yourselves and in your world to feel your own voice kind of, come up into sounding its own clarity of note, even within yourself. There's so many voices, and that's why, you know, we originally said if it's a voice within you, it's really important that you choose the direction of the conversation because it's a voice in you. It's a message that's layering into you that you pull from, draw from, consciously or not. So if there's a voice in there that's talking with you, it may be an extraordinarily wonderful voice that's, offering lots of really beautiful things. And it might also be a violent voice, might also be a, a distorted voice. Yes. They're voices that accumulate through experiences. And some are yours, some are combinations of others, some are combinations of yours with others, some are you're muted in, some you're not. So why now would be in the now, anytime, to really realize that you need to be the we're going to say the director of the conversation, but let us talk about that, because not like a director that doesn't give care or movement or awareness or consciousness to all of the moving parts. It's actually the differing in that. And we will offer that the director among us, the one called the director, will be taking a primary role in this series. And some people say, well, what does that mean? Well, the director's delivery is rather direct. Yes. And so it's time to stop stopping. It's time to get clear, and not again about a specificity about who am I and what's mattering to me and how do I bring my voice forward and how do I carry us enough to actually cause and create and do what I came here for. Whether it's not about, oh, I need to know my purpose, because that can be really like, it can be almost punishing. Yes. It's, this is who I am and what I'm passionate about and what I feel, and it's time to say, I'm doing it. I'm doing me, and not apart from, because the me that who truly knows who you are, your wholeness of being, knows that you are of equal value and everything is of equal value, and you're all intricately weaved in and out of one another. Yes. And so, yet we really, really want to lean in with you to say, you need to ask, what do I need? And not what do I need from the world? That will come. Yes. What is it? I need to get to this place where the conversation in me and the direction of the conversation in me is about bringing out everything that I am and came to be. I don't want to leave without it spent. One of the things we've been talking with people is, well, we won't go all the way into it. You'll hear the full story when you join us. And yet it's, let's talk about that spent word. Yes. And so just in brief, we will say, you can have a moment, a relationship, a conversation, a day, a life that spends you. And you can have a moment, a conversation, a relationship, a day, a life that you spend yourself on. And the difference between those two is extraordinary. And so when we talk about having agency with your own voice. It's to get all of the parts of you into sync and rhythm and harmonizing with spending yourself, living, creating your story, living your life, holding yourself in your own hands, learning how to move with the voices inside of you that are accumulations of many different things, and that clarity of voice that can come forward right into the front of the brilliant light in your eyes, and the whole opening of your throat, and the pulsing aliveness of your heart, and the true richness of your soul, all of those things. Yes. And have a great conversation where you spend yourself and you don't feel spent by a moment. Those voices that are inaccurate or not moving with, getting on board with what you want to do, they'll spend you. And that's not really at all what any one of you desires. Yes. And so what we want to do is bring people together and move through a series of conversations that will help you with really climbing in to who you are, what your voice is, and committing. So yeah, we are saying committing to practices and ways and rhythms and practicing. Yes. In showing up with yourself and showing up in your moments in your world through a way of spending yourself that is so exquisite, and you always get filled by, and the world gets filled by. It's really a win-win. And yet it isn't, let's get together and have a conversation and say, oh, that was nice and I got some gems, because you will, and you can come to it that way. And yet what we want to say to you is, this is an opportunity to pick the pen up, the pen that's inked with your soul, with your passion, with your desire, your curiosity, and have that be what writes everything. And bring it out into what's in your skin and what's inside of your skin and what you send forth through your porousness. Do it. Really claim and be and move into this aliveness expression that you are, in a really thrilling and nourishing way. That's what it's about. We are here to bring so many things to humanity, to answer the call of those who are asking for it, to bring you tools and understandings and teachings and awarenesses that you may say, I feel like I've always known this. That's why we say, welcome to this place where you've always been and never been before. And in this moment, it just crystallized or made sense or found me. Yes. That's what it's about. You're a partner in it. Your first partner. You're the driver. We're here to be the GPS system. Yes. So we will be coming forth with, get really joyfully and maybe challengingly truthful with yourself through your own real voice, while not trying to, barricade or be against any other voice, just making sure you're the one with the agency of where the direction of those messages or stories or sense or feeling goes, no matter what it is, everything applied into what you do want, what you want to have as a life that you spent, and to be a life that you are, that you spend. That's where we're going. We really, really hope you'll join us. It's going to be great. You might need a helmet, seatbelt, or not. Yes, because it's fluid and it's all love. And we know you're ready. That's why we came. Hmm. That explain it?
Yeah, I'm like, I have like four follow-up questions, but do I need to ask them? Like, seriously.